Chopra, the funniest cooking contest ever.
Eyewitness News, the Chicago area's #1 news, with Jim Rosenfield, Cheryl Burton, Mike Kaplan, and Mark Shanowski.
Good evening, I'm Jim Rosenfield.
And I'm Cheryl Burton.
And we begin tonight with the arrests in the bizarre murder of a family in Addison. Tonight, police have 3 suspects in custody.
They charged us with something we didn't do. They won't check our alibis.
They framing us.
The suspects are 24-year-old Laverne Ward of Wheaton, 28-year-old Jacqueline Williams, and her boyfriend, 22-year-old Fidel Caffey. Police say the 3 murdered 28-year-old Deborah Evans and 2 of her children, then removed an unborn baby boy from the woman.
The allegations are that these 3 went to that home. They entered without force. During the course of these murders, they removed an infant child from the womb of Deborah Evans.
Channel 7's Kent Ninomiya is live in Addison with more on the arrests and the infant that survived the attack. Kent?
Jim, investigators working on this case say this is by far one of the most gruesome things anybody around here has ever seen. A pregnant woman and her 10-year-old daughter killed, her 8-year-old son abducted and also killed, her unborn child cut out of her abdomen and kidnapped. Tonight, investigators say they have the people who are responsible for this carnage.
They won't check our alibis.
They framing us.
Laverne Ward and Fidel Caffey insist they're innocent. They face 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping and 3 counts of first-degree murder. Caffey's girlfriend, Jacqueline Williams, is also charged. Investigators say the 3 entered Deborah Evans' apartment last Thursday night, repeatedly stabbed her, and shot her in the head, then used the knife to cut out her unborn child.
During the course of the murders, it is alleged that the suspect opened the stomach and the womb of Deborah Evans and removed her live infant fetus, a boy.
The newborn boy, now named Elijah, was found yesterday with Williams at her home in Schaumburg in good condition. But 2 of his siblings are dead. 10-year-old Samantha was also stabbed to death in the apartment. 8-year-old Joshua was kidnapped and later stabbed, then dumped in this Maywood alley. The only other survivor is 17-month-old Jordan, who was left in the apartment unharmed. All of the Evans children have different fathers. Jordan's father is Laverne Ward.
Didn't matter, we couldn't hear it, nor could they, so...
We did the same 30 minutes. 25, if we didn't like it, we played it fast.
But he always did everything 20 times faster than normal.
Oh, my love.
Yeah, we started to meet these people who'd really just been in newspapers and on film, you know, actually were rubbing shoulders with them.
The times they are changing.
In the apartment, 8-year-old Joshua was kidnapped and later stabbed, then dumped in this Maywood alley. The only other survivor is 17-month-old Jordan, who was left in the apartment unharmed. All of the Evans children have different fathers. Jordan's father is Laverne Ward.
Didn't matter, we couldn't hear it, nor could they, so...
We did the same 30 minutes. 25, if we didn't like it, we played it fast.
But he always did everything 20 times faster than normal.
Oh, my love.
My idols were Elvis, pre-army Elvis, and I still think that was like the most exciting thing going. Little Richard, I was a big fan of Richard, but we'd met him in Hamburg. So we didn't have to go to America to meet Richard, but he was still a big idol. Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis, Fats Domino. We met Fats in New Orleans. He had a very big diamond watch, shape of a big, big star, you know, which was very impressive. Yeah, we started to meet these people who'd really just been in newspapers and on film, you know, actually were rubbing shoulders with them.
The times they are changing.
I mean, I heard of Bob through John. He'd played the records to me, and it was just great.
I think it was freewheeling.
We love Bob Dylan.
I saw 10,000 talkers whose tongues were all broken. I saw guns and sharp swords in the hands of young children. And it's a hard, and it's a hard, and it's a hard, and it's a hard, and it's a hard rains are gonna fall.
So when we met him, yeah, well, you know, by that time we'd heard much more of him and we knew much more about him.
That was the first time for me that I'd really smoked marijuana. And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed.
And I suppose you must, yeah, it definitely had an influence, no doubt about that.
For the times they are a-changing.
We flew out of Montreal in order to avoid Ringo getting killed.
We were playing Canada, and they decided to make an example of me as an English Jew. Because one major fault is I'm not Jewish. And we were playing the gig, and I was always on a high riser. Yeah. And I had a cop, plainclothes policeman, sitting there with me. Now I was worried. It's the first time. It's one of the times I was really worried because I had the cymbals a bit like this, So give me a bit of protection. Usually they're like this, but I had them up. But this guy, and then I started getting hysterical because I thought, well, if someone in the audience has a pop at me, I mean, what is this guy going to do? I mean, he's going to catch the bullet. What is he going to do? And I just found it was getting funnier and funnier all the time, and this guy was just sitting there.
It was that kind of stuff was happening all the time. It was terrifying. And, there was some people would set off firecrackers in the hall, and you'd think one of the others had got shot or something.
But on stage, I always feel safe even when they break through. I don't know, it must be some kind of, I just feel as though I'm all right when I'm plugged in, and I don't feel as though they'll get me.
The Beatles Anthology, brought to you by the all-new Ford Taurus, a look you've never seen from a name you know well. The Pepsi-Cola Company, who reminds you that nothing else is a Pepsi. The Discover Card. It pays to discover, the card that pays you back.